It was a crisp golden autumn afternoon in New York City when the stars of today gathered, not for a typical morning show broadcast, but for a special moment of celebration. Outside the familiar hustle and bustle of the studio, a different kind of energy filled the air as the Today family came together to honor one of their own, Al Roker. The occasion was a significant one, a luncheon hosted by the Library of American Broadcasting Foundation, LABF, to celebrate the giants of broadcasting and electronic arts, an event that recognizes the trailblazers and legends in the world of media. Al, at 70, was undoubtedly one of those giants. His career had spanned decades, marked by a rare combination of humor, expertise, and an unmistakable warmth that had earned him the love of millions of viewers. But as much as Al had shaped the world of television, it was clear on this special day that it was his influence on his colleagues that had made the deepest impact. His fellow Today stars, Sheinelle Jones, Craig Melvin, Carson Daly, and Dylan Dreyer, were in full attendance to celebrate him, not only as a colleague but as a mentor and friend. As Al spoke at the luncheon, reflecting on his storied career and the journey that had brought him here, the Today team was right there by his side, showing just how deep the bond ran between them. It was a rare moment for the usually bustling Today cast to be able to pause and honor one of their own in such a personal way. Dylan Dreyer, the 43-year-old meteorologist who had worked alongside Al for many years, was especially vocal in her admiration for him. After the luncheon, she shared several photos on her Instagram, giving followers a behind-the-scenes glimpse of the moment. One photo stood out, a joyous image of the team gathered around Al. Sheinelle and Dylan were both hugging Al with wide, beaming smiles, the kind of smiles that spoke volumes about the deep affection they had for the man who had been a mentor to them both. Behind Al, Craig Melvin, ever the prankster, had his hands raised, fingers forming bunny ears over Al's head in a moment of playful fun. Carson Daly stood close by, his arm gently draped over Sheinelle's shoulders, a reminder of the strong camaraderie the group shared. Dylan's heartfelt caption read, "We love our at Al Roker. Congratulations on being a giant among giants at the LABF Giants of Broadcasting and Electronic Arts Luncheon today. I learn from you every day, and it's an honor to call you a friend." The sincerity in Dylan's words was palpable. Al wasn't just a colleague to her, he was a mentor, a guide, and most of all, a friend. And this luncheon wasn't just a celebration of his career. It was a recognition of the many ways he had touched the lives of those around him. As the Today team gathered to cheer Al on, it was clear that the bond they shared went beyond the usual coworker relationship. There was a genuine affection that had developed over the years, a support system that had seen them through both their professional and personal lives. This year alone had been filled with major milestones for the Today stars, some joyous, some bittersweet, and they had rallied around each other through it all. Earlier in the year, the team had come together emotionally when Hoda Kotb made the difficult decision to step away from Today after 17 years. Hoda, who had been an integral part of the show, revealed her plans to leave, and the moment was met with mixed emotions. There was sadness at the thought of her departure, but also an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the years they had spent together. Al, of course, had been right there for Hoda, offering his love and support as the team prepared to say goodbye to one of their own. Then there was the joy they all felt when Sheinelle Jones announced the release of her first book, Through Mom's Eyes, Simple Wisdom from Mothers Who Raised Extraordinary Humans. It was a moment of immense pride for the team as they celebrated Sheinelle's success. Her book, which shared the wisdom and stories of mothers who had shaped her life, resonated deeply with everyone, and the team rallied around her, eager to support her in every way possible. Savannah Guthrie also had a moment of celebration earlier in the year when her own book was launched. The team, along with Savannah's family, husband Michael Feldman and their two children, Vale and Charles, were there to cheer her on. It was a beautiful reflection of the tight-knit bond they all shared as they lifted each other up, whether through personal achievements or moments of emotional transition. Even when celebrating those who worked behind the scenes, the Today family showed their unwavering support. The third hour cast, who often worked closely with the production team, took a moment during a broadcast to congratulate senior producer Ali Markowitz, who had just welcomed a baby into the world. Dylan Dreyer made the announcement during a segment, her voice filled with excitement as she shared the news of Ali's son, Asher Drew Strauss. With Craig and Sheinel clapping in the background, Dylan announced that the baby was born on October 29, 2024, at 1:23 p.m. ET, weighing in at 7 pounds, 14 ounces. The joy in the studio was palpable as the team celebrated yet another member of their Today family, a reminder that even in the fast-paced world of television, the connections they shared extended far beyond the cameras and the headlines. The true heart of the Today Show had always been the people who made it up, those on screen and behind the scenes. While millions tuned in each morning to watch the anchors deliver the news, it was the off-camera moments, like these, that truly defined what Today was all about. When Al Roker stood at the front of the room at the LABF luncheon, surrounded by his peers and colleagues, it was clear that this recognition wasn't just about a career spanning decades. It was about a legacy of mentorship, friendship, and support. As Al reflected on his long career, he expressed his deep gratitude for the people he had worked with, the moments they had shared, and the impact they had all had on each other's lives. But what stood out the most in that moment wasn't just Al's accolades, it was the warmth and love surrounding him. Sheinel, Craig, Carson, and Dylan weren't just celebrating his career. They were celebrating him as a person. They were celebrating the man who had not only guided them through their own careers, but had been a constant source of support and joy in their lives. As the luncheon came to a close, the Today stars gathered outside for one final group photo. Al, the honoree of the day, stood at the center of a tight circle of colleagues. They all gathered around him, some with arms wrapped around his shoulders, others leaning in with smiles that said it all. This was family. There were no airs, no formalities, just a group of people who had spent countless hours together, building something truly special. Al Roker had always been a giant in the world of broadcasting, but on this day, surrounded by his colleagues and friends, it was clear that his greatest achievement wasn't just his decades of success. It was the lasting relationships he had built along the way. And as the Today family moved forward, they knew that no matter where their paths took them, they would always have each other to lean on.